Hello there. This is Lady Lou, the baby boomer babe, and we're coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube. We're running just a little bit late from normal, but we're here, and it's our work from home show. This is week number 29. Can you imagine? We've been doing this show for 29 weeks, helping you find a job, create a job if you would rather be an entrepreneur, and create all kinds of side hustles. They're out there. It's just a matter of finding them. So just know that you can work from home and make a living because we know so many people who do it now. In fact, we're doing it now. We've done it for quite a while and we're so happy to be here. So I'm going to introduce to you my co-host, Marian LaSalle. And Marian is our technical genius. She keeps us running every week and every day. Say hello, Marian.
Hello, Marian.
There she goes again. And we have our special guest co-host today, Rebeca Eigen. She is our astrologer. And I've had one of her readings, and she is marvelous. So we're going to talk about her and all the things that she does. But first, I'm going to turn it over to Marian because she's got some interesting jobs for you. There she goes. Hello, Marian.
Hello. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Lady Lou. Nice to see
Hi.
you.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, and it's nice to see you out there as well. I'm hoping that today will be the day that you can find a fantastic job or get ideas about some side hustles or maybe create a whole business for yourself. Sometimes people start out, they have a full-time job, then they do a little side hustle on the side, and that is so exciting and money-making that they turn it into their full-time income. I've seen it happen before. Maybe it can happen for you too. One of the reasons why we started this show was because a lot of people were getting laid off because of COVID. Lots of people in the restaurant industry, lots of people in industries where there was bars and lots of crowds. Think about all the different businesses where people are just out of work instantly, no warning. So we created this show to help everyone figure out not only how to find a side hustle or a business, but also how to work from home. Because let's face it, sometimes it's not always easy when you got kids, dogs, jackhammers, lawnmowers, trucks going by, whatever your problem is at home, sometimes it's a problem. How about you ladies? Do you ever have a problem working from home? Any
Yes.
noises or weird stuff happening?
Yes, I live a block from the freeway,
Oh.
from Beltway 8, and so you never know when something might be happening on the Beltway, and all of a sudden.
All of a sudden. Yes, one day I was at home and I'm like, what in the world is that noise? It was a helicopter
Oh
looking
wow.
for somebody right above my house, right in my neighborhood, just going around and around. And I couldn't concentrate. It was like, okay, just go outside and hug a tree for a minute. All right. Oh my goodness, we have so many comments already.
Already.
Yes. Okay, so Jody's here saying hello. Hi,
Jody.
Jody. And Peggy Sue's here. Hi, Peggy. And Peggy Moore's here. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. And they're saying hello, Rebecca. Lots of
Yes.
hellos. Yes.
Uh-huh.
All right. So let's get to it. We've got a lot to cover today. Plus, we want to talk to Rebecca about how she works from home and what she does to help people while she's working at home. So I've got some things that I want to talk to you about. I did some research because a friend of mine is a fantastic chef. Not only is she a good chef, but she's a chef that likes to make food that is healthy for you. And she has been doing it on camera. She's been actually literally showing us on Zoom what she's doing. So she's coming up with these recipes and she's filming it and sharing it with us.
Wow.
So Lady Lou and I are in her mastermind. Her name is Ricky McKenna, and she calls herself McHealthy. Ricky McHealthy. So you can find her on Patreon or on her website, rickymckenna.com. and there's a lot of other things that she's doing as well. So I had her in mind when I was researching things that she could do to create an income by sharing her recipes. So let's go right there. Now, this is for anybody, not just Ricky, but that's why I wanted to tell you that I love you, Ricky. You're awesome. She's a nutritionist, a certified nutritionist, and a life coach as well. So let me go over here and show you the first thing that I have. This is Cuisine at Home, and they are looking for recipes and videos of you cooking those recipes, and they're willing to pay you up to $50 for each recipe. And they also pay for tips, cooking tips and things like that. So be sure and contact them. And we will have all the links for everything we talk about today down below in the description. Okay, so we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and then we have a podcast as well. So if you have any questions, you can always ask us. We're free and open. You can ask us online, like right now. You can ask us any kind of question, or you can just make a comment. Okay. So I thought of that. This Cuisine at Home as I was doing my research, and I thought, ooh, I got to tell Ricky about that, but why don't I share it with you as well? Okay, so the next one along the same line is Eating Well. They're looking for healthy recipes as well, and they have a fantastic blog, and they pay, I believe it's $1 a word. So let's say your article is 400 words. Hello,
Hello.
dollar, 400, $400. So they're willing to pay up to $400 for a blog post that talks about your healthy recipe.
Woohoo!
Wow.
I know, right? Isn't this cool?
That is cool.
Yeah. So for those of you who really want to get into the health and wellness industry, you might want to think about doing some of these, because the people that I learned this information from, they're talking about a lot of different magazines. Okay, there's hundreds and hundreds of online magazines who are willing to pay you. Those are just two that I found when I did my research.
Oh my, because this gives you a whole new outlook how to work from home, especially if you love to cook.
My
Or even
son
if you
loves to
don't cook,
cook.
you just have tips on, healthy living, healthy eating, healthy living. There's all kinds of things.
Oh
Did
wow,
you
that's
did you
big.
have something, Rebecca?
My son loves to cook, and so I'm excited to share this with him.
Oh,
Yes.
good. I love to hear that. Every week we are getting responses from people like you at home who have either found a fantastic opportunity on this show, or you found a job, or you found a new career, and we want to hear all about it. We'd love to highlight you. So please, if you do find something, especially like a side hustle or a new business, we'd like to hear all about it and maybe even have you on the show. So thanks.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Cool.
Wow.
This made me feel good sharing those with you, because I know so many people in the health and wellness industry, and it's wide and varied. Rebecca, she's in the health and wellness industry, totally different than cooking and recipes, but she wants to make you feel better. She wants to help you with your life. Her book, I don't know if you have one in front of you, you can hold it up, Rebecca. It is fantastic. It's it,
Let's see.
we've had her on the show. Please go and look at. She's had a complete and a whole show about nothing but her. But it just brought my attention to health and wellness. It's more than just eating or exercising, right, ladies?
Yes.
And
Oh.
if that's your passion, you can make money with it. So that's just one idea.
Mm-hmm. So,
Okay,
wow.
my next one. This one is about people like me who love websites. Okay, I used to build them, and occasionally I'll still build one for a friend or whatever, but I don't do it for a living anymore. However, I do like to check them out. When I go, I can see right away whether something's good or not, or if I want to go back, right? And you can get paid to do that. It's called user testing, usertesting.com. And basically, they're going to pay you to test out the website. Now, you do have to you have to have a video because they do things similar to Zoom. It's a software that they put on your computer or that you log into. I shouldn't say put on your computer. You log into it. The camera catches you and where your eyes are going, and it shows people as you're talking about this website that you're looking at. Well, I expected to see, some way to get around. I didn't see like a menu bar at the top. So how do I know where to go? So basically, you're just talking about your experience going through the website. And so you're giving criticisms, constructive, of course, and you're also giving things like, well, I really like the colors on here. It makes me feel good. And all the different things that you run across when you're doing this. Now, it could be 10 minutes or it could be 20 minutes, and they're willing to pay you pretty good money. Okay, so let me see. I'm a open tabber type of lady. I have too many tabs open. I wanted to see if I could remember how much they were willing to pay you. Nope, I didn't write it down. I'm sorry. But I thought it was well worth it because it definitely is a good income for a side hustle.
And you can have 2 or 3 or 4 of them, depending on the time you have available.
And that's just one website that does user experience for websites. Okay, that's just one. There's many, many more. I'm just highlighting the ones that are the most popular that I've checked into. I've either talked to somebody at the company or I know somebody who's using it. So that's just one. Okay, you ready for the next two?
Yes.
All right. How about becoming an online private investigator?
What?
Uh-huh. This is a business, a full-time business, or you could start it out with a side hustle, or you can get a job. There are people that are hiring online private investigators. Now, you might want to think, now who would hire me to be an investigator? If you're into details and you really know how to work your computer good, you can go and check up on people. Maybe somebody owns a business and they want you to go and look at all their social media. They want you to do a background check. They want you to do all these things. They want you to search and see what you can dig up. Well, more than just employers are going to hire you, right? Uh-huh. Yeah. So think about that, an online private investigator. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, you and Magnum PI.
And I did think about, okay, well, who would do this? Okay, so somebody who's detail oriented, somebody who's good with the computer, somebody who's, knows how to get around Google and all these different places. Now, you probably have to buy special software in order to get down below the normal, what you can see, but it's out there. It is.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just going to read to you what I found on, it wasn't Indeed, it was another company. I forgot the name of the company. Sorry, I'll put it down below. So you might perform background checks on prospective employees. How about tenants? Business partners and marriage partners looking for missing persons. You could help parents find someone who skipped out on their child support, people who left town owing money. You could investigate insurance claims. There's lots of insurance companies out there that are willing to pay you to check out the insurance claims. You could gather evidence for lawsuits, so you could maybe work for lawyers. Lots of lawyers that have to have evidence for their lawsuits. You could specialize in any of these activities, or finding lost loves, children abducted by non-custodial parents, or corporate fraud. If you're a computer whiz, you can specialize in hacker crimes and advise companies on online security, things like that. The advantage to this business is that you could be creative and it's challenging. And you could reunite people with loved ones or find criminals who can be brought to justice. What do you guys think about that?
Amazing.
I think
That
that's
that could turn into a full-time job.
there's unbelievable amount of different things they could do.
Yes.
I know, right? And what I found interesting about this is not just the concept of being an online detective, but that you can find a job with benefits and all that stuff. Okay, so there are companies out there wanting to hire you right now, or you could make it your own business. If you're an entrepreneur, you could make this a side hustle that could turn into a full-time business. And they have stats on all this stuff. Someday I'm going to really wow you with some stats, but not today. All right. Next one, wedding planner or consultant. You could have a full-time business doing this yourself. You could start with a side hustle and turn it into a full-time business. But another thing, just like the private eye I was telling you about, there are people willing to pay you for a full-time job with benefits if you'll become a wedding planner or consultant for their company.
Really?
Normally now, if you're working for yourself, you're going to be working on an hourly basis, okay? And you'll lend advice on a few issues, or you could plan the whole wedding. My niece got married recently, and I realized all the different little things that she had to do. And if she had the money, she would have gladly paid somebody for it. It was overwhelming. You think about it. You have to find somebody to officiate. You have to find the place. You have to find the flowers, the cake. How are you going to invite all these people? You'd have to come up with the invitation. Okay, we could go on and on and on, right? It's a major production for a lot of people. That means a lot of work and income for you if you want to be a wedding planner or consultant. According to payscale.com, an entry-level wedding planner with less than 1 year experience can expect to earn an average of $40,000 a year. And it just goes up from there,
Oh my goodness.
right? That's what I said. I thought, wow, okay. That's not something that I have, in my plans for, something that I want to do. But if that's something that you've been always really good at is planning for events and things, that would be a great career, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Now, the last one, I don't have a graphic for it, but I did some investigating this morning, and I'm just amazed, okay, at what you can do on Fiverr.com. Now, this is not where you go and find a job. This is strictly a side hustle or a full-time income. Because you know what? I have paid people to do things for me on Fiverr. And so I know about it, and I know how easy it is for people to come there and buy services from you. So think about this now. One of the things that I'm looking for right now is a voiceover artist for our podcast. So we don't need a voiceover artist for our shows because we do all that ourselves. But once we take this show, the audio out, and we put it up on the podcast platforms, we really need an intro and an outro. And we need somebody professional to do it. So I went over there for $25 or up. You can get some pretty good talent there, people that sound like a famous person or something. From $25 on up, I could have a nice intro for my podcast. So if you have a good voice, what about going over to Fiverr and checking it out? There are a lot of things that you can do, and you can just use your voice. You don't have to have any special equipment. Just use your voice. All
Nice.
right.
Oh,
That's what I have for you today. Now, let's talk more about working from home. Rebecca, tell us how it is for you to work at home.
Well, I've worked at home since my son was born, so 36 years. Because I am a graphic designer, and my previous life, I was mostly doing graphic design, but now I am a full time astrologer, and I absolutely love it. I'm getting to do all of my consultations online. Some people still come to my home. A few people who live in the area have come to my home, which is fine with me. Um, and working on Zoom is awesome because I can see that person's face, where it used to be I could only hear them and they could hear me, and I would tape it. I would send them an MP3 of our conversation and our consultation. But now I can actually see the person, so I can feel them. It's like being in person. And
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. So
Yeah.
that has changed my work. Being at home has not really changed my life as much as other people because I've been doing this for a long time.
Yes. And it's a whole new world working from home versus working from an office, or if you're traveling from place to place like I used to do in my car. And it takes some getting used to, but once you're used to it, you're not going to want to go back out there and do what you used to do because it's so much more fun to do it at home.
It is. And I find myself working a lot. So I'm working a lot. So for me to have fun or to get, I have to get out of here or invite people over for dinner or, have karaoke parties or whatever just to stop working because I can be a workaholic.
Well, I was noticing on your Facebook that you've had a big birthday week.
I did. I did. It was so much fun. It really was. I'm just thank you to everybody who was coming on Facebook, and I haven't even gotten to say thank you to everybody one at a time, which I'm going to try to do this week.
That's
Oh,
one nice thing about Facebook. It does tell you when your friends are having their birthday.
Yes, and
And
my two good friends surprised me with this gigantic sign in my yard.
I loved it.
I was just like shocked. They said, come out here. Something's happening in your front yard. My two girlfriends that come karaoke with me every week. We karaoke every week. We've been together for years. And so we go outside and I went, oh my God, who did this? We did. We love you.
that reminds me of another side hustle where people will pay you to show up at somebody's house and sing happy birthday to them or to deliver something, not necessarily flowers, but you know what I'm saying, a special, I don't know, they do like a dance and they have costumes on and things like that. A special event, a birthday, holiday. Um,
Well,
I'm
this
not
song,
sure that that's something I'd want to do, but I know how fantastic it would be if I got one of those.
Yeah.
this sign was so clever, and it's only in your yard for 24 hours.
Oh,
So they put it in your yard, and then there's a sign there. It's called eye candy, and people passing by can get the phone number to call them. But that sign is only in your yard for 24 hours. And so it's interesting how they can reuse the letters and the art and the stars. They had stars all over it because I'm an astrologer.
oh. Well, it's still on your Facebook page if anybody wants to go look. Rebecca, why, Eiga, E-N or A-N?
En.
E-N, Eigeen.
Yes,
And
it's German, and the E is silent. So it's pronounced Eigen.
Eigen. Yeah. And the Rebecca only has one C. You're very unique.
Oh yeah, she made me very aware of that when I was doing your information. She's like, now remember, her spelling is a little different.
My mom did that. She named me after Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm.
Oh,
And what was amazing is she saved the video for me, so I have a VHS of the original movie.
really?
And I watched it, and that Shirley Temple character was me. How could
Oh,
she know that? So it was like I was born like that,
marvelous.
rather rebellious.
That's good. Well, tell us a little bit more about what you do for others, because I know you've got a wonderful free offer for people.
Well, what I do is I help people have better relationships by helping people learn about their own unconscious, their shadow side, which is a Jungian term. I use Jungian psychology and astrology and merge them together to help people work with their relationships in a more conscious way. And I love doing it. I love doing it because when I can see the results of people having a better marriage or having a better understanding of why they have a pattern that's been repeating in their life that they're puzzled about, that they don't understand it, and they get aha experiences, and I'm like, this is very fulfilling to me, to be able to help others have a better relationship. That's my purpose in life.
Rebecca, I'd like to ask you a few questions about how you market yourself, because for those of for those people who are watching or listening to this show who are thinking about working from home and they have no idea what to do, if they have a talent like you do for helping people with their astrology, let's say they have a different type of a talent, what do you do to let people know about you? How do you promote yourself and market yourself?
Well, I started by doing my Facebook Lives, and I did 22 of them. And doing Facebook Lives helped me to interact with people from all over the world, and also get to know people. Just joining different groups, astrology groups, Jungian groups, Houston groups, different groups on Facebook. So Facebook has been my primary marketing ability, or what I've been using. And I also have a newsletter that I will send out like once, 3 times a year. I mean, so I don't inundate people with a newsletter every month. I just, send one out once, every 3 or 4 months, just to let them know what I'm doing. And I have never been a marketer. I've always been a graphic designer. So I actually had a business coach who trained me, who spent 6 months with me, training me on making business calls or repeat clients, calling them back, asking them if they wanted a half hour free so I could find out what was going on with them, and then tell them what's going on that I can see in their chart. Are they interested in a consultation? I mean, she had me do, like, you have to do your Monday calls, and I would only have time to maybe call 3 or 4 people. But I started getting repeat business by doing that. She also had a consultation with me, and she said, you're giving way too much information. It's overwhelming. So you need to break it out in 7 different consultations, because there's really a lot in our birth chart. I could actually talk to you for an entire month nonstop about what's in your birth chart. I'm serious. But I started by doing an overall consultation, and then looking at Saturn, which is where we all have we feel inferior or inadequate. We all have Saturn somewhere in the chart. So different things about the chart that help you with your relationships is my purpose. So that's my goal, is that you're going to learn more about yourself. And self-knowledge is extremely important.
So for those of you who want to reach out to Rebecca, her phone number is on the screen. Rebecca, will you tell us what your information is?
It's shadowdance.com is my website. My Facebook group is Shadow Dancing and Your Relationships. And my Facebook page is Astrology, Shadow, and 7th House. So I have 3 things going on Facebook. I have a LinkedIn and I have Twitter. Another thing, if you're an author, I highly recommend Ask David if you're an author, because he will, you can buy a package of 30 Twitter posts, and you can use them over again, but you can create new ones and send them out. And I send something out on Ask David every day. You can actually do it every 12 hours. Every 12 hours you can repeat one, but you can buy packages of 30 for $10.
Wow.
So this is a really good thing for authors who have a book, because it's an author page. But he lets me just post Jungian quotes.
Great.
He lets me post, I'm doing a webinar. He lets me post whatever I want. So I post whatever I want on Ask David. Everybody else just posts their book.
Yeah. Well, Rebecca's phone number is 281-799-2900. You got a great phone number there, girl.
I did.
And, we've just run out of time. What can I say? It's been wonderful. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Rebecca. If you'd like to get a hold of her, please do. The links are down below underneath in the comment section. So feel free to reach out to Rebecca. And you can tell she's friendly. She'd love to talk to you. And she can help you with your astrology. And also, she has a book. Is it on Amazon?
It is. It's on Amazon.
It's a fantastic book. I have a copy myself. I know Lady Lou does too. It's a fantastic book. And it's all about your shadow self. It's fascinating, okay? Now, if you have questions about working from home, if you have ideas and you want to talk to us, we are more than willing to talk to you about that as well. We have lots of ideas. Next week will be our 30th week to come to you with ideas about working from home. We'd love to hear your comments. We'd love to hear your questions. If you want us to investigate something, we will. We do not bring you anything unless we have qualified it first, because we don't want you going out there spinning your wheels, spending money on something that doesn't work. So we are happy to have you. Good to see you. And we'll see you again real soon. Okay? Bye, everybody.
But thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lady Lou.